right, this news particular sound like music to my ear. You are? The government of Ghana is moving towards the changing of the, or moving to change the name of our airport from Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport. And then all of a sudden, this generation of traitor whose name is Kotoka, this is the beginning of the MPPO. Betrayer. They have started sharing the bottle of tribalism. They want to turn the whole thing into tribalism. They have started tribalistic propaganda. That is all they know. From Kotoka, propaganda is what they use against Kwame Nkrumah. So when you talk about Kotoka and Kwame Nkrumah, you're talking about one person who fought for freedom and the other person who fought to come to power. And that has been the attitude of the NPP. That bottle, we are going to break it right now. Now, this is what the majority leader in parliament, they came up with. Let me play that video quick. Yeah, this is it.
We are changing the name of our airport from Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport. So a bill will be brought by the Minister for Transport for the name of the airport to be changed from Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport. So the Accra International Airport bill will also come, and then they will ask us to approve some international bilateral agreements and multilateral agreements for them.
Beautiful, yes. And a whole lot of things are surrounding this video. Now propaganda have started. They want to turn the whole thing into tribalism. This is what we have been calling for a long time in this country. Majority of Ghanaians support this because that name hanging on our airport is it make us look stupid. I said it countless times. I'm repeating it again. It make us look stupid. Looking at history, when we reflect back to history, people who understand, the struggle of Kwame Nkrumah, and Kwame Nkrumah respected all over. You come to the country where Kwame Nkrumah is coming from, the person who fought for our freedom. If it is left for Kotoka and his crew, we will not be independent. They wanted to be, by the white men and oppress the people, and Kwame Nkrumah said no, we can manage our own affairs. And because of that, this guy was betrayed mercilessly, and today our airport is named after the same man who betrayed the founder and the freedom fighter of this country. It is a shame. Then all of a sudden the minority leader came out from the Nothing People Party. This is what he has to say. He's turning the whole thing into tribalism. It's not going to work. Listen.
That all these years we've had this Kotoka, General Kotoka's name on the airport, and suddenly it is being changed. What is it? After it's Kotoka International Airport, Accra. So Accra is still there. I'm not suggesting any other name. I'm saying that the name Kotoka International Airport, Accra is already there. Accra is already there. So you don't need to remove Kotoka's name from there. So if you come to Accra, or even in the country, how many prominent Voltarians have their names on national assets or national monuments? This is the only thing the people of Volta region can also at least see as something that recognizes heroism from the Volta region. And that one too, they are being denied. Well, Honorable Kwame Abuja is from Volta. Honorable Ukujeto Ablakwa, he's from Volta and he's sitting in cabinet. Honorable Fifi Kwete is the General Secretary of NDC from Volta region. Honorable Ahiafo, he is the first Deputy Speaker in this government from Volta region. Honorable Kwame Eche, the Fiamepo, Majority Chief with from Volta region. And they are all sitting down, watching the government to take away a Voltarian's name, which has been given to our airport, and successive governments never made any attempt to change it. And in this time and age, they are from Volta, and they are in the government, and they are watching Volta to lose its pride. It's up to them.
Upon your marking listing, I'm from Volta region. I come from Keta Jerguko straight up. Our house is there. Family house is there. If I go to Keta, then I'll be welcomed massively. But my people, I'm a Votarian, but listen, we will not. It is a shame to us that that name is representing, that name actually come from Volta region. That man, Kotoka, is coming from the Volta region. It's a shame. A betrayer like Kotoka coming from the Volta region. When they are reading the history of Ghana, if people come to the country and they ask, what is the name, Kotoka, who is that man? And they will be telling the person that this is the same man that betrayed Kwame Nkrumah, the freedom fighter of this country. The same man that betrayed Kwame Nkrumah, who was the first prime minister and president and one of Africa's most influential Pan-Africanists. He led Ghana to independence in 1957, championed African unity and self-determination, invested heavily in education, industry, and infrastructure of this country. He took bold anti-imperialism position that worried the Westerners. A man that betrayed such a man, that worked with the enemy to betray him and then overthrew him. You want us to be proud that he is carrying our name and he is from our town, he is from the Volta region. Are you serious right now? That tribalistic agenda is not going to work. That tribalistic agenda is not going to work. I said it countless times. That name Kotoka on our airport, it is a shame to us and it makes us look stupid. That a man who connived with the enemy and then led the dangerous agenda against a man who fought for the unity of Africa and then fought for the independence of this country. That man, that betrayer, his name is hanging on our airport. We are welcoming people with that name and we are kind of like projecting him as a hero, as you said. What heroism you are talking about when you mention Kotoka's name? What heroism? After taking over, what exactly did Kotoka do? He did not perform better than Kwame Nkrumah. No, he only came to rule. He only came to power. That was the agenda. That is the attitude of the MPP. They love to rule. They are not leaders. They are rulers. Kwame Nkrumah fought for independence and the freedom of the people. Kotoka fought for his way to power through propaganda, and then the media was not even there to help Kwame Nkrumah. Everybody sad, a lot of people sided with him. Just like they did to Gaddafi right here. We know the history right here. So you can't turn this whole thing into propaganda. It is not going to work, my brother. Now watch this video. This is a video from a concerned citizen.
On Friday, 7 July 1972, Dr. Nkrumah's body returned home. The Air Guinea aircraft touched down. The doors were open. The air was heavy, and Ghana was at a standstill to receive her son. The glass casket that carried his body was brought out slowly, carefully, and gently, in full view of the nation and the entire world. Accompanying that glass casket was Her Excellency Madam Samia Fatia Nkrumah. And to her imaginary side of that casket was the spirit of the Osajifo standing there, looking on at that casket, only to look up and be confronted with the painful irony that the gateway that was receiving him carried boldly the name of the very man responsible for his overthrow. The gateway that was receiving the Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah after 6 years out of the country, coming back as a corpse, was the name of the man responsible for his overthrow. How do we get to this point as a nation? How have we been able to live with ourselves for the past 60 years? Especially when we remember that the day he boarded that flight to Hanoi, he left believing that the country was in good hands with men who, behind the assurances, were already part of a conspiracy to overthrow him. He left the Accra International Airport and returned dead to the Kotoka International Airport. We can teach the story of Kotoka and the NLC in our schools. We can debate that past in our books and our documentaries. We can preserve his memory in our museums. But the name at the doorpost of our republic must be that which unites us, that which uplifts us, and that which we are proud to present to the world. And so I cannot and we cannot be proud of the name Kotoka International Airport when he's not associated with any major developmental project in our country. We cannot be proud of the name Kotoka when the last act of President Rawlings in 2000 was to demount his statue from the forecourt of the airport. And that act has never been reinstated by successive administrations. We cannot be proud of the name Kotoka when his coup d'etat created an abyss of political instability for the next 30 years in Ghana's history, allowing countries like South Korea to leapfrog us. We cannot be proud of the name Kotoka when every single airport in this world is either named after the city in which they are located or after an iconic or revolutionary figure. And so we have Jomo Kenyatta Airport, the founding father and the first president of the Republic of Kenya. We have Julius Nyerere Airport, the founding father and the first president of Tanzania. We have Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport, the founding father and the first president of Nigeria. And just next door, Houphouët-Boigny Airport, the founding father and the first president of La Côte d'Ivoire. Where is Dr. Nkrumah, the African of the millennium? A man whose name and whose statue boldly sits at the forecourts of the AU, but in his own country, sits in the shadows of the bushes in our museum.
Beautiful. And that call, I'm happy that the government is listening to the citizens of this country. So upon your market listing, it is not about what you want, it's about what the people want. We know you MPP, you do what you want. This is what the people want. That name needs to be changed. I became a little bit emotional when this guy was talking about how Kwame Nkrumah's body was received into the country, and then it was received through the door that carried the name of the person who betrayed him. It makes us look stupid. When we are talking about, Kwame Nkrumah, we are talking about the history of Kwame Nkrumah, and then, they ask us about the person who betrayed him, and we say, oh, we put his name at the international airport. What nonsense is that? What heroism are you talking about? The man is a betrayer. As for us, when you talk about votarians, you want to make it tribalistic. Listen, even in every family, we love everybody in our family. But there are some people, because they are not making us proud, it becomes difficult to associate with them. They become a shame to the family. That is a fact. So we try everything possible to hide those people. When we go to family meeting, people who are handpicking and all that, we want people that, hey, you have not gone to family some meetings before? Yeah. You go to meetings and then they are warning you that, hey, for gaze le domia that me pe akpoto akpete ploto me pakore te pere. They will tell you that Evo Gaze is in the area, so or Uncle Gaze is in the area. So please make sure that your luggages or your bags is secure. Yes, because there are some people like that. We need to warn you about them. We are not proud of them. So listen, this is not about tribalism. To all votarians, this don't let Aponyo Makin. He is very smart in twisting people's mentality. That name representing us, it is a shame to us. Okay, that name is a name representing a betrayer. So if you as a votarian, you are proud that Kotoka's name is is in front of the airport, then you are equally a betrayer. I cannot associate myself with something like that. As a votarian, I'm pleading with all votarians, don't take Aponyo Makin serious. Let the right thing be done. What has Kotoka done to this country? Let's look at the achievement of Kwame Nkrumah within the few years that he led this country, and look at Kotoka. Let's do comparison. He's not close. He is not close. He has not even arrived. The name Kotoka should be removed from our airport. It should be Accra International Airport. Majority leader, you don't need to explain anything to anybody. I saw they were saying that they want to use Accra because of, in honor of the people who give up the land. No, that is a weak excuse right there. No, that is a weak excuse. Change it. We can't have a name of a betrayer hanging there. We cannot be proud of Kwame Nkrumah and be proud of Kotoka at the same time. No, we must choose one. We cannot be proud of Kwame Nkrumah and be proud of Kotoka. Both cannot be good. One is bad example, one is good example. We must make decision right here. That is just it. You can't put both of them on the same pedestal. No, one has to be bad, one has to be good. One represent achievement and one represent a shame to this country. So it makes us stupid. Actually, when people realize that the traitor of Kwame Nkrumah, the man who betrayed Kwame Nkrumah, his name is the one that we hung on our airport. It is a shame to us. It makes all of us look stupid. That name needs to be changed. Nobody will do anything about it. We will push hard for it to be changed. Show me how many countries today in this world have is having the statue of Kotoka in their country. No. The people that Kotoka even work with, the CIA and the KKK. Go to their country and see if you have the name of the statue of Kotoka in their country. No. But go to Africa countries around the world. You see Kwame Nkrumah's statue all over. A man respected by the whole world. A man respected. When we are talking about Pan-Africanism and African unity, you can't remove Kwame Nkrumah out of the equation. And you, the country that he came from, is honoring the person who betrayed him. What do you mean?